all right, well, I'm not really outside today because it's winter and now it's like 20 degrees outside. And I don't know if I'm trying to freeze, over a video. So bear with me. But today I want to talk about how you can have motivation and discipline, Like, what if you can have both? Because there's always that saying that discipline is greater than motivation. And yes, I highly agree with that. But having both is what it's like the full package, you can say, right? And so most people fail to really tune into why they're doing what they're doing. That's how you get your unlimited motivation. When you're waking up in the morning, let's say you want to start waking up at 6 in the morning, that remembering what you're doing it for, why you're doing it, is key. That's what helps me get up in the morning, And you got to make sure it's not a surface level thing, right? When I ask you, why do you want to become a multimillionaire? You can't just say, I want to live luxuriously, or I want to take care of my family. It's such a surface level response. You want to get, that's like the tip of the iceberg. You want to get down here. You want to get to the roots, because if I were to tell myself in the morning, like, yeah, let's go wake up and meditate because I want to live a successful life, or I want to live in luxury. Now, to me, at least, it doesn't really bring any fire within, Now, take this. What if I'm like, David, I love you. Let's wake up because you don't want to see your parents struggling to pay bills anymore. You don't want to have your sisters looking up to your parents wondering why there's not much money coming in. You don't want to have your sisters growing up thinking that money's scarce. You don't want your sisters growing up thinking that you're limited by the beliefs people put inside of them. You see, it's much more enticing. It's much more. I get fired up whenever I say that. I'm like, dude, I gotta get this YouTube video. Dude, I gotta go help these people. Dude, I gotta make money. You know what I mean? Like, it's more like there's more emotions into it. So you gotta bring that in. You gotta bring that in while you're doing it. Bring some pain into there if you have to. That's what motivation is. When you see all those videos on TikTok, on social media, whatever, and it's like, you gotta wake up at 3 in the morning. You gotta grind. Get you that motivation, right? That honestly it's just using your pain points, and it's like, you're right. I do gotta stop scrolling on social media. I do gotta stop eating junk food. I do gotta stop watching those bad things. And it's like, you gotta use. I mean, if you really want to use it on something that actually means something to you. Because, for instance, if I'm like, yeah, I gotta stop eating junk food. Like, if that's what your reason is, then you gotta sort of changing into being like, I'm not trying to be some fat slob that my kids look up to, and it's like, yeah, that's my dad, and they're kind of ashamed to show them. That's a lot more painful, but it's not like. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I know it wasn't the best analogy, but obviously, one thing too is when you do get really clear on like the painful part, do not focus on that. Don't be like, oh, I'm not trying to become a fat slob, or I'm not trying to be broke and scarce for the rest of my life, or I'm not trying to not have a girl for the rest of my life, because where focus goes, energy flows. And so when you focus on why you want it, focus on the good outcome. If you want to retire your parents because you don't want to see them struggling to pay bills anymore, then focus on that outcome becoming true. Focus on you actually becoming successful, relieving their bills, relieving stress, and ultimately, whatever it is. Hold on, real quick. I would love for you guys to follow my Instagram. You guys can always ask me any question. You can see what I do day to day and how I actually build upon these things I talk about all over my YouTube. I'm not just someone who just talks and not do what I actually do. So, if you'd like to follow that, see more of my lifestyle, stuff like that, feel free to follow. Now that we got that whole reason why, the reason why you want to have it, key takeaways from this is more like, you want to use the meaningful why to create that emotional fuel that will last for a lot longer than a little dopamine hit. You know what I mean? And one thing too, if you are someone who has been following me for a while, meditation is key. And so, like I said before, when you focus on all the painful stuff, that's only what you're gonna attract. Okay, so don't do that. Hopefully you didn't click out the video right when I said that. Do not focus on the painful stuff. Focus on the good outcomes, okay? And yes, whenever you are feeling that sort of slacking, you're waking up kind of hurting or whatever, like, you can tap into that pain drive back into being that in that loving self, okay? Because like, it's more like, think of it. I'm gonna try to do this analogy. If I mess up, I mess up. Think of it. This is the floor, okay? There's fire right here, okay? And up here, the roof is where you want to be. Let's say you're down here slacking, okay? And that fire is what gets you to bounce up. That's your motivation. Once you bounce up, get up here, you want to be able to hang on, stay up there. That's like more of the loving. That's more of the gratitude. That's more of the neutrality. That's where you want to operate from, not this pain. Because if you operate from here, this bouncing of, the explosion, you could say, that sort of fire you get will start to diminish, because it's more like you're used to living in this pain. You're like, well, that's just my reality. My parents are going to live the rest of their life struggling. So you got to be careful. Use this pain to get yourself up there. Once you do, stick to being neutral, stick to being loving, stick to being grateful, and it'll be able to raise your state. All right, now that I got that whole motivation, fueling side, obviously you want the other side of the equation, the discipline part, right? And most people think becoming a disciplined person is super, super hard. It's a difficult process. You gotta struggle. You gotta just outwork yourself, throw yourself into the loop, whatever it is, whatever the catchphrase is, right? But I want you to live by this principle, okay? And this principle is consistency over intensity. You want to stay consistent, okay? And let's say it's like you want to start going to the gym, right? And you've never stepped in a gym your whole life. All you've been doing was sitting down, slacking, whatever. But now you become aware that you're like, all right, in order for me not to be fat, I gotta go to the gym. And so you want to start going to the gym. Start off small. You can either go straight to going to the gym once or twice a week, or what I recommend is doing workouts at home first. Get used to having your body work out. Go on walks, do push-ups at home, do squats at home, do body weight activities at home first, and then just to get yourself in that habit. That's what you want to start building. You want to start building that habit of working out. And once you do that, then you can start making more time for yourself to go to the gym. Now, with the workouts, you want to do like a bare minimum. Each and every single day, a bare minimum that you cannot miss, whether it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is. Hitting that bare minimum, showing up for yourself will stack up that winning effect. And that's key. You want to stack up this winning mindset. Because, let's say this. Let's say you're like, no, I got to just throw myself in the gym, and I'm going to have to just face through all the challenges, struggle my way through there, and whatever. It's like an uphill battle. Okay, and like I said, you're in the same scenario. You're someone who's never gone to the gym, you've never done a workout in your life, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna show up to the gym 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 days a week, and I'm not gonna miss. I promise you, 99% of you guys are gonna miss after the first week. And once you do, you're gonna be like, dang, I lied to myself again. And you're just gonna indulge back into the thing you used to do, whether it was eating junk food or whether it was just sitting on the couch procrastinating, because you don't have any trust within yourself to actually keep your word. And since you make the task so hard for yourself, it's hard for you to actually keep your word. It's like you're level 1 trying to do a level 100 mission. Like, you're not gonna be able to do it. You know what I mean? And so you gotta start out small. Build that consistency, build that trust within, and you'll learn that discipline is a lot simpler than it is. And now the final steps will becoming disciplined, right? Let me give you this quick story, right? So when I was first becoming a disciplined person, I did exactly the whole intensify thing, but it was only with the wake up times. I woke up at 4:30 a.m. every single day. Dang near, I would honestly say yes. Obviously, some days I would wake up at 5 or 6, but it was always within that hour and a half time range. And that was a challenge for me. But I only did that because I built trust within myself that I can keep my word. And the only reason I was able to do that was because I was implementing these 5 habits, if you want to count this one. And you can take this same exact structure I'm doing. Okay, I've given this out to a couple of people as well. 10 minutes of meditating, 10-minute workout, 10 minutes of studying, and 10 minutes of deep work. Studying, study language, study how to cook, whatever you want. This is more like open your mind. Books. Books are really important. And then deep work is stuff for your business. If you are an entrepreneur like myself, then you can do deep work on your business. If you are going to college, whatever career you want to go down, doing deep work at least 10 minutes, and that's undistracted work. Work that your phone is away, there's no distraction around you, it's just you and your work for 10 minutes. That's all it is. Building that up. And I did my 10-minute workout and then meditation. Meditations are also super key because it also solidifies who you are. Most of the times when I meditate, I reflect, I visualize. Meditation video another day. But building those habits really built me a foundation of discipline. That's how I became a disciplined person. And of course, I had God guiding me every step of the way, you know? The whole 4:30 wake up thing was probably a month after I started doing those things. I was like, I can keep my word. Woke up at 4:30, did it. I went to the gym for at least hour and a half. Then I went to school, came back home, did 2 hours of deep work, and then I read my book, and that was everything. That was me for like 3-4 months. And that's what really solidified who I was. It was like a foundation. It was like I can always look back on these moments knowing that I could do that again. And the fifth habit I was talking about is fulfillment, which I always like to give myself, whether it's hanging out with friends, family, or whatever. That's key. I'm gonna do a quick little recap for you guys. So if you already got everything, you can leave, but real quick little recap. Find your reason why, which is going deep, attaching emotion, and making it personal. Don't just copy the same thing I said. Really dig deep. What resides with you? What story do you have, you know? Number 2, focus on the good outcome, okay? When I tell you to attach pain to your reason why, you know, if you don't accomplish your goals, then your parents will continue having to pay those bills, whatever it is. Focus on the good outcome, where you do accomplish your goals so you can relieve the stress of your parents. Don't focus on you messing up and failing and not being able to live that life you want to live. 2 different things. Where focus goes, energy flows. Remember that. Number 3, consistency over intensity. This is how you build discipline. This is how you make discipline much more simpler. And yes, it might take a little bit longer, but it took me a month to really solidify in my head that I am a disciplined person with actions and meditation. If you have any more questions about meditation, I do have a video inside my YouTube. You can look up how to actually meditate. But then building trust within yourself, stacking that winner effect, and just reflecting at the end of the day. That's really, really key. You can journal, or you can just, have a mental note of what wins you could stack up today. Did you meditate? Did you work out? Did you do your deep work? Did you study? Whatever other habits you want to do. Yeah, that's how you really solidify your discipline, build your foundation, use that unlimited emotional fuel to get you up in the morning whenever you're feeling in that slump, and do it. I'm telling you, this is the vehicle to actually get your work done, to get to your goals. This is a firm foundation. Of course, implement God in every aspect of life you can. That's how you get out of this. This is how you start your journey. That's how I started my journey, at least. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And also, if you are this far, and you're someone who watches it pretty frequently, I know I'm not outside. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's like 20 degrees out there, and I would freeze every 5 seconds. So I'm gonna deal with this for a little bit, unless I get like some sort of warming heating device, or it's a nice day outside. But I'll catch y'all.